Hello, everybody, welcome back to the No Nonsense. Today, I want to talk about sexuality and safety in regard to India. According to our culture and norms, exploring one's sexuality isn't a thing. Love usually starts and ends with marriage, while marriage usually starts with dowry and ends with kids and disappointment. Sorry, that was dark. In an ideal world, young people would be able to explore their sexuality in a consensual, safe way without the potentially devastating consequences of a leak. We all know this is not the case and that not all victims of a leak are treated the same. Straight cis men and boys are far less likely to be shamed for their participation in sexual activity but rather congratulated. I am not personally interested in value judgments around taking nude pictures. I really don't understand why trying to explore one's sexuality and body is a crime, but I do appreciate the impact on those who have seen their intimate moments shared without their permission. There is also the complex matter of nudes or videos, consensual or not, being shared between minors. Strict child pornography laws mean that even consenting teens can find themselves guilty of possession of child pornography, which can lead in a host of very serious legal consequences, including placement on a sex offender registry. The debate about sexual harassment demonstrated by the Me Too movement has started a positive discussion. But where does online sexual harassment fit into this picture? It is now so embedded into our daily digital lives that it has been normalized and, quite frankly, overlooked. Sometimes even personal photos are leaked by hacking. It is a very blatant target crime. There are steps you can take to reduce your vulnerability to attack. Consider where you store any pictures that you wouldn't want the public to see. Now, consider how up to date your anti malware software is and also what passwords you use on different systems. If you're using photo streaming devices, check now to see if private photos are already at the risk of being exposed to the internet. Let's, however, elaborate on this case from Bangalore that came like a month or two ago. So, girl students to be more specific, from MS Ramaya and a few other colleges found pictures from their Instagram accounts in a porn website. Mind you, these are normal pictures that were just posted in their Instagrams. Can you imagine how degrading it is to just do nothing and still be seen as an offender? That is what happens to women in India when something happens against them. They're treated as if it's their fault instead of being defended or sympathized with. And honestly, I'm quite done with this attitude. And the more we talk about it, the more irritated I get. So, what can you do if your pictures are out there on the internet? Step 1, don't panic. It may seem like your world is crashing around you, but the attitudes around revenge porn and all these related things are changing, and as a society, we're slowly moving away from victim blaming, at least a little bit. There are more resources now than ever before. This is something you can get through. Step 2, gather resources or help. As mentioned, there are several organizations working to help victims of revenge porn. Educate yourself on your rights and proceed the right way. Step 3, gather evidence. Take screenshots of all links and posts if you're being harassed or stalked. Screenshot and document everything. Seek immediate online removal. Step 4, report to law enforcement. Make sure you report other crimes you experience, such as physical or financial abuse, hacking, impersonation, harassment, stalking, extortion, or coercion. If you are underage in the pictures or they were taken without your consent or knowledge, those both are additional crimes. You must be prepared to explain who you think the offender is and why you think that. Step 5, revisit your privacy settings. Shore up your privacy and security settings. If you are being attacked online by somebody, immediately restrict your Facebook or Insta or Snapchat settings. Require permission for anybody to post on your wall or tag you in a photo, and make your friends list private. Enable two factor authentication on all devices, accounts, cloud storage systems, and modems. Create unique complex passphrases and answer security questions in unexpected ways. Okay, now let's talk about people's attitudes and all the toxicity in our society surrounding nude pictures and whatnot. In 2019, Bella Thorne leaked her own nudes on Twitter when a hacker got hold of them and then threatened to release them. Throne was then publicly condemned on The View by Whoopi Goldberg, who suggested that Throne got herself into the situation. She says, and I quote, "If you're famous, I don't care how old you are, you don't take nude pictures of yourself." On her Instagram story, Throne likened this to victim blaming and said Goldberg's comments were sick and honestly disgusting. A situation similar to this happened with Jennifer Lawrence in 2014, and oh, how people blamed her for taking nudes of herself on her phone and how she should expect to get hacked because she's a celebrity. Some good old slut shaming into the oblivion. We lift celebrities up on a pedestal far away from us mortal beings. We consume them relentlessly. Because of this, so often celebrities' need for privacy and respect is little consequence. The industries that prop up their outsized fame have encouraged us to feel like we are shareholders in the myth of their celebrity, which includes not only their bodies but their minds and spirits and innermost feelings. We assume we are entitled to bear witness to it all, regardless of consent. In case of recent Chris Evans pictures leak, fans immediately stood up for him, and it was heartwarming to see such a great response. Having your personal pictures shared without your consent is traumatizing in any context, but it is harder to heal from these incidents when you are being called sexist slurs, when you're getting a barricade of rape threats, and when you fear that you will lose professional opportunities. Fortunately, Evans was spared of all this hate, which is nice, but gender also plays a huge role here, and one that should not be ignored. Slut shaming functions among girls and women as a way of sublimating sexual jealousy into socially acceptable form of critique of girls' or women's sexual expression. The term is also used to explain or describe victim blaming for rape and other sexual assaults. The topic of slut shaming sheds light on the social issues that are associated with double standards. This is because slut shaming is usually towards girls and women, and boys and men usually don't get slut shamed. This is the exact reason why women in India are hidden, to protect them from the mockery and shame when things like this happen. क्योंकि जब वो बाहर ही नहीं आई थी, जब उसकी कोई गलती नहीं थी, जब उसने पार्टिसिपेट ही नहीं किया, तो हाउ इज़ इट अ फॉल्ट? क्योंकि पार्टिसिपेट किया, देन इट्स योर फॉल्ट. इट डजेंट मैटर इफ़ यू गेव कंसेंट टू द एग्जैक्ट थिंग दैट हैपेंड और नॉट. See, I have a better idea. Why not raise men to be more sensitive towards consent? Sounds like it can work, right? Nah, नहीं, लड़कियों को छुपाते हैं, उन्हें थोड़ी अपॉर्चुनिटीज़ चाहिए, शादी करा दो, बच्चे करा दो. Lol. So the point is, as long as you are an adult, consenting and not hurting anyone, you should be able to do anything, irrespective of what is expected of you traditionally. But then to all those kids on Snapchat doing sneaky stuff, sorry, but your parents are right. This shit isn't safe. Trust me, I learned it the hard way. This is the No Nonsense, signing off. Stay safe, stay alert.